Bole Baba Ki Jai. Welcome to the Hedekada Universal Ashram. Today we're going to have a short discourse from the Chandi Path by Swami Satyananda Saraswati. And if you remember in our last discourse, the Divine Mother was battling self-deprecation and many other armies and battalions of destructive thoughts. And many of the gods, seeing what a battle there was going on, their Shaktis emerged from them, and they came to join the Divine Mother in the battle against self-deprecation and all the other thoughts. In the end, Mother won, having been given the boon that self-deprecation could only be killed by a woman. She killed him. And now we're going to move on to the next chapter where his brother, Sumba, self-conceit, is furious over the death of his brother and has a huge battle with the Divine Mother. We'll begin with a meditation. With the fullness of my heart, I think of the female Lord of all, Kameshvari, the ruler of desire, who unites the intrinsic nature of Shiva and Shakti, of consciousness and energy, who wears the radiant half moon on her head. Her luster is as beautiful as the excellent gold. The sun, moon, and fire are her three eyes, and in her lovely hands she holds a bow, arrow, curved sword, net, and spear. Seeing his brother's self-deprecation, who is dearer to him than his own life, slain, and his strong forces being conquered, self-conceit spoke these words in anger. O reliever of difficulties, Chandika, wicked and proud of your strength, do not show your pride to me. You fight by means of the strength of others. The goddess said, I am the only one here in the perceivable world. No other exists beyond me. O wicked one, see as these manifestations of my energy enter into myself. Then all the goddesses, led by the creative energy, dissolved into the being of the goddess, and there was only one existence in the perceivable world, the mother of the universe. The goddess said, I resided here in many forms, which were manifestations of my energy. These have all been withdrawn by me, and now I stand alone. Stand up and fight. Then the goddess and self-conceit began a dreadful battle, while the gods and other thoughts looked on. With showers of arrows, sharp weapons, and incredible missiles, the combat that engaged them was frightful to all the three worlds. The Mother of the Universe discharged hundreds of divine missiles, which were cut by the Lord of Thought by his defensive weapons. And as many excellent missiles as were hurled by him were playfully cut by the Supreme Sovereign with fierce incantations of hum and other mantras. Then that thought covered the goddess with hundreds of arrows, and the goddess in anger cut his bow from his arrows, with her arrows. With his bow broken, the Lord of Thought took up his energy, but that was cut by the goddess with her discus while it was still in his hand. Then the Supreme Lord of Thought took his brilliant sword and shield bearing 100 moons and rushed toward the goddess. As he was approaching, she who tears apart thought, Mother Chandika, cut his sword with sharp arrows from her bow, and also his shield as bright as the rays of the sun. With his horses slain, his bow cut, and without a charioteer, that thought seized a fierce mace, trying to kill the mother of the universe. As he approached, she cut his mace, and her sharp arrows were upon him, as he continued toward her with great speed to strike her with his fist. That renowned thought brought his fist down on the heart of the goddess, while the goddess struck him on the chest with her palm. Struck by the blow of the palm, he fell to the ground, but the king of thought immediately rose again. Then seizing the goddess, he rose up into the atmosphere, and there also she who tears apart thought, Mother Chandika, waged battle with him without any support. Then that thought, and she who tears apart thought, began to fight in the atmosphere as never before, causing astonishment to adepts and men of wisdom. After a long, close encounter, the Mother of the Universe raised him above, spun him around, and threw him to the earth. Thus thrown to the earth, he hastily got up, and raising his fist, that wicked one rushed forward to kill she who tears apart thought. Seeing the approach of the sovereign of all thoughts, the goddess pierced him in the chest with her pike and threw him again to the earth. Pierced by the sharp point of the goddess's pike, he fell dead upon the ground, shaking the entire earth with its oceans, islands, and mountains. When that evil one was killed, the entire perceivable universe was pleased. All was at peace, and the sky became clear. The flaming clouds of symptomatic confusion became tranquil after his fall, and the rivers flowed in their courses. On his death, the minds of the multitude of gods became overjoyed, and the celestial minstrels began to sing sweet songs. Other celestial minstrels played their instruments while the heavenly maidens danced. A gentle breeze began to blow, and the sun shined radiantly above. The sacred fires burned brilliantly at peace, and peaceful became the fearful sounds that had once filled all the directions. Om. I meditate on the goddess Bhuvaneshwari, the ruler of the earth. The brilliancy of her body is like sunrise in the morning. The moon is a crown upon her head. Her swelling breasts overflow, and her 3 eyes are in union. Upon her face shines her radiant smile, and her hands show the mudra, granting boons, the curved sword, net, and the mudra, granting fearlessness. Jai Mahamaya ki jai. Om Haryakandashvari Mata ki jai. Vishveshvari Mata ki jai. Bole Baba ki jai.